So that's all the sensor available. That's the raw GNS global navigation satellite system measurements. That's the many latest devices, smart devices has this possibility. But I think so. This is the devices from coming from 2000 or 2000 maybe uh, 2018 or 16. There's many devices has this possibility to calculate the raw GNSS, the global navigation satellite system measurement device sensors, and then you can get the record informations, and then you can build a application what you want to do those informations. But I have example like GNSS Logger from the Google's. I will try to demonstrate later or give it to you. How can you think about which data it is available, how can you build a specific application based on that one. So you see the environmental sensor, you have some, that's I recap again, the environmental sensor is the most important sensor for calculating the temperature, pressure, humidity, and relative all things together. And this sensor is available for every devices, every smart devices, including the Android devices. And then you can take the data, and then you can process it and visualize it into your application and make some decisions with based on the your data sets, and then you derivate you fulfill your requirement for your end clients. That's I mean, depending on the end client requirements, you can put those things in information together. The position sensor, you see the position sensor, it has a rotation vectors and has a rotation geometric rotation vectors, magnetic rotations, and all things together. This I just like this make is try to summarize the which type of sensor and which type of event sensor event data is. But I said I will show you in my development when I start the developments how it works, how can you start the development, those things together. So this is the data information orientation sensor, proximity sensor, the proximity calculations, and then you have magnetic field, uncatchable sensors positions and sensor events, and then and so on and so forth. Motion sensor, you have to detect the motion for every objects inside in front of your devices, or you inside in front of your cameras, and then sensor detect the motion of each of the objects. It doesn't matter object is smaller or bigger, depending your business logic in your application. You see that the motion sensor, gravity calculation, linear acceleration, rotation vectors, and significant motion calculation, and step counter, step detector sensor, and either hard. It's that's I said that I forget to explain you. So the two type of sensors is a hardware based sensor and the software based sensor. So that means you have two type of sensor. You have to use these two types of sensor in different possibility or different functionalities or different features of those types of sensor into the your application. So accelerometer and a gyroscopic sensor, you see the hardware based sensor, and that is something some sensor has software based sensor. So it have the type of gravity and type of gyroscopic, and then type of gyroscopic unused sensor. And you see the some raw GNS measurement device, as I said. Sorry. That's I said the devices. I will try to explain you what I mean here. How can you visualize those the GNS logger collections measurements can be consumed by the GNS analysis. This is the one of the tools from the Google GNS analysis. You can take this the analysis tool and visualize what your deformations, and then what time, how many satellite you pick up, and then and so on, and the deformations, how it says your position accuracy, I mean the centimeter, meter, or depending which scale you are. So this is the one of the really very beginning stage for the GNS logger collections and analyzing the GNSS system analysis that those data. And then if you had need really more accurate, centimeter level accuracy, and then you have to be process those raw data set into your specific algorithms, specific your business models or your algorithms. But this is a good really good informations to build the highly accurate systems in the applications. Like if you have really centimeter scale accuracy in your navigation application or your deformation application, then you need to be process those data sets into the your specific models or your specific business logic. That's I mean. So just Google it in the into the in the GNSS Logger collector and GNSS Analysis tools, and then you can get really clear pictures. And then, but as I said, I will try to give it to you. How can you use it? How the usability for those data sets into the your applications. That was that to build really highly secure and highly correct positions deformation so application. I mean the deformation software we done with the mobile devices, basically with the Android device. That's I mean. So I will just follow that one. I will show you later the application and itself, the data conditions and data. How can you process those data sets? So GN analysis app displaying the interactive plots. You see the how many satellites is here, the accuracy informations, and this is not clear here at the moment, but I will show you the logs and measurements. You see the how the record is coming from, and then this the position particle, the graphs are xy position graphs, and then here the information how the deformation works, how the accuracy of your position informations is derived here. You can see the measurements positions. So it's a different type of sensors. That's in general sensor technology in smart devices, phone, accelerometer sensor, temperature sensors, color sensor, humidity sensor, proximity sensor, touch sensor, gyroscopic sensor, a magnetometer sensor. That's how you show already in the, if you have a smart device, you see all the sensors is work, how it works. You have a really impression how it works. Yeah, so this dimension you can calculate the your speed or you're running or walking. Temperature sensor, you see the how the temperature sensors, how many temperature today and humidity and rainfalls, and then when the some board forecast and broadcast for those things information. Humidity sensor, you already see the humidity sensor, and some proximity sensor when you have a have a phone. That's for, I will show you the detail that's the very abstract level information. So here's a proximity sensor. You see the your device has this proximity sensor depending on the device, but normally this call is proximity sensor. When you take your phone into the your here, and then it has a calculation how far you are, and then this take the object detections. That's called the proximity sensor, or detecting the other object inside the range of your proximity sensor, the calculation, the distance. You can use the pressure sensor. You see the pressure sensor of your devices. You can also, there's a lot of application, a lot of functionalities the sensor devices. And here's a gyroscopic sensor that has a XYZ, the pitch, roll, and azimuth to calculate how the rotation of the works, rotation of your devices. Even though if you are in the aircraft, and then you see the rotation of your devices, then XYZ. That means, and the pitch, roll, and azimuth of your x and axis, latitude, longitude, and the height of is jet, the height value. That means if you are in the flying from Germany to Bangladesh, then you see the every information into the your aircraft in the display, how much is the height, in the azimuth is height, and how the x and y position, and even see the pictures into the your device also. If you have such a device, or if you have such an application into you install your device, and you can get those information yourself, or you sell this application in for your end client, and they can use it and see the information if you have those applications. That's I try to give it to you how the use cases, how can you think about, and how can you make those application for your development for your end clients, or for your for your professional career. That's the idea, to give it to you. This is really abstract level information or presentations, but that's I said I will make such application. How can you develop those applications? Just continue. And you see the touchscreen sensor, the little descriptions is the most phones is capable to touch the more accurate sensor, smart devices, proximity sensor, You see the ambiguity light sensor, viscosity sensor, accelerometer sensor. Those things you can recap. You can read it and you can Google it and touch more than that my one. But I try to just like summarize the informations. That's you.